Okay, so one little exercise for section 7 will go for replace robot. So I'm going to bring that here. Very basic station. We already used this one here. So dispensing. There's a little pause here that I'm going to remove. I'm adding that often when I want to film. So this way I can launch the program and then close everything and then it will start. So this way I don't have to cut as much when it's time to editing. Anyway, so I have a pro robot here. Let's say that I want to change that robot for another robot. So instead of using this ABB robot, let's say that I want to use a KUKA. So I can right click and click replace robot. If I do that, it will bring the local library and I can go ahead and select a robot from my local library. If you don't have the robot here, you can go ahead and go on our online library, download the robot and just drag and drop it to C RoboDK library. So let's take the KUKA robot here. I don't know, this one here should be enough. So it literally just replaced the robot, and if I start that here, it will run the same exact path. So that's super cool. This one here is a situation where it works like perfectly. So I'm going to show you how you need sometimes to tweak that out a bit to work. But as you saw, it was super easy for me to go from one robot brand to another like in a fraction of a second, and I could generate src file instead of creating .mod file in a very, very short amount of time. Now let's say that I want to change that for, I don't know, a FANUC robot. FANUC, let's say this one here. FANUC robot has the difference compared to other brands. So Yaskawa and Yaskawa and FANUC do the same thing, where the base, instead of being like where the ground will be, the base is at the junction of axis 2. So what that means is that if I wanted to replace the robot properly and I would try to move that up, everything would move with it. So what a small trick here, you take your part, right click, change support, bring it to world, then you move that up like that. Perfect. Now you bring that back here to FANUC. Everything is fine now. And then you try to run the program. And that doesn't make sense whatsoever. This is normal because it's not a big deal, but it says normal. It will keep the position relative to the base of the robot, and now the base of the robot kind of moved with respect to the part. So we just have to right click here and select force original pause, or go ahead and select the right reference frame again, even if that doesn't make sense. So if we right click here and force original pause, it will select the right position here. Oftentimes you will also have to change, if I go ahead and bring it to home, let's say, you also have to change potentially the configuration that is used. If you want to do that, you just have to go to the first position, you select whatever configuration you want. So I'm using here, just gonna move myself here. You're using potentially, I don't know, I'm gonna do something stupid, but this one, you just right click, teach current position, and now this will be the configuration that will be selected. You could go ahead here and select another one, which makes more sense. I say this one, right click, teach current position, and now you will have this first position change. Because don't forget that the first position will have, the first joint position will have a big impact on the configuration of all the other linear motion afterwards. Not just a big impact, in fact, it will kind of dictate the configuration that will be used by the robot for all the other joint motion, because linear motion do not respect configuration, joint motion respect configuration. So the first configuration is very important. So that's how you can super quickly go from one robot to another in a station. So you just right click, replace robot. You can have to switch a few configuration, But apart from that, everything should go fairly smoothly, and it's super easy to test a few different robot options for your customer, a few different robot length, especially if you're using the same robot brand. If you're just like testing different length of robot, the switch will be automatic because generally the configuration are the same, and the position of the base are generally the same or almost, so everything should run very quickly. So I like this feature. I'm using it all the time to kind of show the customers what robot brand could be interesting for their situation in a given moment. So the more you know. If you have any question, as usual, feel free.